Hello, beautiful people. Today let's discuss the results. The results are in, and let me walk you through all the cards, and we're gonna talk card by card. So first, let's deal with the power increase. Freixenet, I think this is a very good change, especially that this card can only play in devotion decks. So it means that this is something like a different approach to symbiosis and to nature's gift, and definitely I really like this change. Cesar Bilzen, a very good change. This card at 4 points of power was easily removable. Basically, what we are getting here is a coin spender, which is kind of important, but obviously the deploy ability is the most important part. I don't know if this is the only buff that this card should get. Maybe it would be even better if this card was at 6 points of power and 8 points of provision, but definitely I will give this card a shot, and I will play and create few decks with this card this season. Then we have Morgvark, and I also think this is a good change since the discard package is not being played at all, but I would say this is one of the drawbacks, because if this card is supposed to be buffed regarding the discard package, definitely this is a good change, but if it's gonna be played in some other compilations, I would say it might be problematic, but we will see. Definitely the skirmishers, that's what deserves like in first row some kind of a buff, but let's start with this and we see how it's gonna work. Then we have Serit, also a very good change. I think all these cards regarding this combo, so Leto, Oculus and Serit, they deserved a buff, so this is also a very good change. Egmont, a change that doesn't bring anything, maybe because if you think about it, it has a veil, which is super important ability, 5 points of power plus this one armor, so it means that it's definitely hard to remove. But then if you read order melee, damage an enemy unit by 3 at the end of your turn. If order is not used, boost the unit to the right by 1. So this is something like a Herkia, I would say. Definitely something similar, but within the Northern Realms. So I would say this change, it's a it definitely brings something to the table. But if you compare this to Herkia, Herkia is definitely much stronger. So what I would say is that maybe this also needs a buff, but regarding the provision cost. And then if it was at 6 points of provision plus this change, definitely this would be playable, but for now this card is still too weak for 7 points of provision. Nausicaa, so this is like every month story. So my thoughts on cards like this, which are going back and forth, this is a waste of a slot. I would say that Nausicaa Sergeant, because there is definitely some kind of a bigger plan regarding this archetype, and regarding anyway Nilfgaard, because all the Nilfgaard fans, the changes that they are doing, they're very slow, but they are heading in a very good direction for Nilfgaard. Already, regarding the Nilfgaard faction, you can see that the teaming options are the best, and consistency is the highest in Nilfgaard. All the cards regarding the consistency, they got cheaper, so definitely they can draw whatever they want. So I would say that in the end, if it's gonna continue, so although the other factions, they also get a buff, in the end the winner, the ultimate winner will be Nilfgaard. I'm not even like commenting on this card. I don't want to change it. It's at 4, let it stay. But definitely regarding the slave driver, definitely I will vote for slave driver to be changed once again to 6 points of provision, and that will be my first vote, and I will place it on the first place. Whisper of Blatana, just like I mentioned last month, that was a bigger plan, and so I knew that once it will get to 6 points of provision, this will change to 4, so that's how it is right now. I would say this is a very strong card, and although it has only 4 points of provision, if it's not being answered, it means that in one row you can create 9 units, and then it means that this card for 6 can give you 36 points in total, which is absolutely amazing. Then we have Rivian Pigman, very good change. This card is very strong right now, with 5 points of power, plus obviously this damage and unit by 2, plus also reduce the cooldown. So this is absolutely amazing change for Rivian Pigman, and definitely we will see this card played more often. Vicovaro, I really don't understand that kind of changes, because already you already know that Vicovaro is one of these cards that is only attached to Albrecht, and obviously right now also to all this archetype, and I don't think that this is a point of changing that kind of archetypes, because in one hand people, they are really destroying some archetype, and the other hand they are really buffing some other archetype, and I don't agree with this change. I really don't like it, because it is very boring, and you already know that if somebody plays this Vicovaro, you already know it's gonna be Albrecht plus Rins. Karak Marine, a huge change. This change will, because you can see that it's 4 points plus boost 4, so it's 8 for 4. So this is, it's gonna be in every single devotion deck. And what is the best is that Inspired Zeal will be very present this season, and this is a huge change for Inspired Zeal, and definitely it will make it much more stronger. And I'm pretty sure that it will not stick for a long time, and it might be reversed pretty quickly. Then we have Power Decrease. I also voted for this card because I don't think that too many cards they need a power decrease. Power decrease are not very welcomed, I would say. I would say that the changes, they need to go in this progress direction. So this is like one of these things which is also for me, in my opinion, this is very, very okay. Junior, definitely a bad change at 5 plus 10. It was played in many decks. Right now, once again, it's gonna be forgotten, and this is a killer for this card. I know this is only a 1 point of power, but definitely it was not needed, and I don't know what was standing behind this change, but this is a reverse change, and I completely don't agree with this. Lord Riptide, definitely this card was abused, and it's in every single monster deck, so definitely for me this is a good change. Roach, completely don't understand this one. I think what is going to happen is it will change from 9 to 8, and it will stay at 3, unless maybe next month it's gonna be some kind of a, I would say, tragedy, and it will go up to 4, because everybody will vote for this card to be at 4 points of power, and also they will think that maybe it's gonna be okay with 3 and 8, and they will vote for 8 and 4. So it will be a huge buff to Roach, and then we will see Roach in every single deck, especially in all the decks with Golden Necker. Then we have Immortals. Yes, I think it was needed, because this archetype of knights, if it's not being answered, it's, I mean, unstoppable, and the tempo it creates is just absolutely huge. Also, that's why in every single deck you can see that there is an Erondite, and Erondite over there is not for a reason. I mean, it is for a reason, because the tempo is something that not many decks can compete with, that kind of a tempo. Wildcard, so it's another buff for Ursian Ritual. For the lovers of Ursian Ritual, this is a huge change. I don't know what to think about it. I'm kind of neutral. Fallen Knight, so we are heading in the direction of completely destroying this card. So from the stage of like having Fallen Knight in every single deck, if we're gonna continue destroying this card, we will not see this card in any kind of a deck. So it got back to the point where it was before, so 6 points of provision and 4 points of power. So as you can see, it's basically like a killer for this card. Bare Knuckle Brawler, so every month is the same, and this is another, for me, BS. I would say this card was perfect at 5 and 5, and definitely we could see this card. Right now it's gonna be once again completely forgotten, because I would say this is not a good stage at 4 and 5. Anglerfish, I think this is part of a bigger plan. I think next season we will see Anglerfish at 4 points of provision. So for now it's going to be completely forgotten, and we will not see this card at all. Illusionist, another good change, I would say. Definitely 4 and 4, that was a perfect spot. I don't know what was the reason of changing this, but definitely somebody got mad about some kind of a deck. Maybe that was the deck that also I played a lot with this Knight Jugglers, and definitely that was a super important card for this deck. So if it was the only problem, so I would say this is a very bad change, and it should stay at 4. Then we have provision increase, that I ambush. I voted for 2 leader abilities to be changed and to be buffed. I don't think that I ambush needed a buff. This is a mistake. There are decks that and leader abilities that definitely they need a buff, but that wasn't that I ambush. I think what was standing behind this reason was that somebody was trying to buff traps, but this is not the way you go, and this is a huge mistake because traps will not be played. It will not change anything, but at the same time you created a monster, and I think that I ambush will be played a lot, but not obviously with traps. Then we have this change. For me, it's a disaster. I don't know what was the reason standing behind this. Anyway, if somebody is playing cultist like me, we already know that this is a very, I would say, problematic archetype. Sometimes it can be very good, but in most of the cases it's very bad, and it's definitely this is one of these decks that it needs a setup. If you destroy this scenario, basically this archetype loses like 50% of the power automatically, and to win anything against anything, it's very, very problematic. Right now at 15, basically cultists will not be played at all, and this is a huge mistake. So it already got nerfed with this Eternal Eclipse Initiate right now with the scenario, so we can forget about Eternal Eclipse and all the cultists this season. Ale of the Ancestor, another bad change. I don't think that this card was that, I would say, strong that it needed a nerf. Definitely there are more important cards to be nerfed regarding provision, but definitely that wasn't the card. Morwood, another change that I really don't understand. This card is not problematic at all. What is problematic regarding the monster is Tatterwing, especially with this Tatterwing White Frost. This is a problematic, or is Araka Swarm. I don't remember the meta deck from Masters, but I think one of the leader abilities. But regarding Morwood, this is a very bad change, and I don't like it at all, which is Sabbath. So somebody is really like into destroying some archetypes and some memes. At 11 it was already too expensive. At 12 it will be completely forgotten. So if that was a goal to somebody to destroy it, which is Sabbath, so he did a very good job, so we can forget about this card for next month. Magic Compass, the same situation as with Witch's Sabbath. I completely don't agree with both of these changes. This card should be at 10 points of provision, and this one, Magic Compass, should be at 11, and that would be a perfect sweet spot. So this card also will be forgotten this month, and probably next month it will be reverted. Cleaver, another bad change. Card that was completely forgotten, got to 11 points of provision, and it was played a lot only because of the Fallen Knights. I think right now the Fallen Knights, they were killed, and not only Fallen Knights were killed, but also another victim will be Cleaver, and I think that was completely unnecessary, because this card actually at 11, I would say that was the sweet spot. Right now you also have many decks with pirates. They play Longship, and basically Cleaver, once they play Longship, it's dead. So just imagine, like, all these cards with 1 point of power, after being deployed, they are destroyed. So I would say what needs to be done actually regarding cards like Cleaver, he should have stayed at 11 points of provision, but the power should be changed into 2, so it can be played. Golden Necker, I think this is the dumbest change that happened, and I completely don't understand. At 10 it was already expensive. This is a really random situation, and Golden Necker summons and draws very random cards, so I would say completely unnecessary change, and next month it will once again go back to 10, so a waste of a slot. Another waste of a slot at 6 points of power, provision. This card was finally more present in the game. Right now at 7, once again it will be forgotten, so this was another mistake. Blue Stripes Commando, I think this is a part of a bigger plan. So right now it got to 6, and I think maybe it will be changed to 5, and I think that was the goal of somebody who was trying to do something about this card. Then we have provision decrease. So every month situation, right now we have 14 points of provision. Probably next month once again it will go to 15, so like going from left to right, and we go back and forth with the same cards. So at some point this card will die. Basically, at some point, this card, this game will die because of these revert changes. And if it's not going to stop, and if the guys who are in charge of this balance council will not do something about it, in a few months we will forget about Gwent. The thing is that I think what should be done is that, for instance, if this card was changed into 14 points of provision, it cannot be reverted next month, and in next month we cannot change it into 15 points of provision. It should stay in this range for 2 months at least. So for 2 months we can appreciate this card, and maybe people they could focus on some different card, and they would forget about this change with red frame. Otherwise, next month it will go back to 15, and then the other month it will go back to 14. Ardal Aib Dehi, and that's what I'm talking about. This is a very slow change for nilfgaard, but regarding the long term, it's gonna be a huge change because they do it very slowly, and something it's like people they don't pay attention to that kind of changes. But in fact, this is a very strong card, and this is a huge change for nilfgaard. Just like last month, Usurpator was changed, and nobody even noticed this. And the same will go with Ardal. So it will be completely forgotten, not noticed. And I think at some point we will have a total domination of nilfgaard. 18, very good change. Devo deck, finally we'll see something different with Symbiosis, a card that was completely forgotten. I think this is one of the top changes this month. Jan Calvate, revert change, there was no need. This is one of the strongest card regarding the consistency in the game, and no other faction has a card that can compete with Jan Calvate. So it should be definitely at 11 points of provision, so I really don't like it. Also, a very good change. Once again, we have some random decks, RNGs, and so on. So I think maybe we'll even see it in some Golden Necker decks once it will go back to 10 points of provision. But definitely, I will create a deck with Alzur. Geralt Art, damage 3 enemy units by 2. So it means 6 plus this 4, it's 10. Then move them to the Rancho. So a change that has no impact on the game. Very weak card. For this card to be playable, definitely it needs to be at 7 points of provision. Mahakam Horn, another buff for traps, except Dead Eye Ambush. Definitely we'll see this card more often, and that's a very good change because I think traps they are not that strong. I know that they are specific and actually they cannot be too strong, but regarding this card, it's a good change, and I also think that this traps which are at 5 points of provision, they should be changed into 4, just like I mentioned this last month. Boris, a very good change, completely forgotten card. Maybe once again we will see it more often. Fourth, I voted for this card to be at 7 points of provision. Very good change. This is a buff for Symbiosis for Devo and not for Devo, so I really like this change. And actually this card can be played in many other decks regarding the nature card, so I like it. Slave Driver, I will vote for this card next month for sure, and that will be my first vote. So it's already, the slot is already meant for this card. So in reality, and to summarize, I think this month was very bad. I would say that 70% of the changes, they are not acceptable at all. Many of these changes will be reverted next month, so it was like a wasted vote. And except maybe few exceptions like Freixenet, Caesar, which was a very good change, also Eitne, that was a very good change, Mahakam Horn, very good change, Alzur, also kind of interesting, Boris, also very interesting change. But to summarize, I think it was a very bad balance council, if not the worst one, because it was many cards were already reverted, and then they will be reverted once again. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your time and support. Please like, subscribe, and comment, guys. See you in the next video. And the last announcement, guys, please go to the nearest shelter and adopt a dog. Thank you very much, guys. Bye bye.